Welcome to episode 3 of the Viridian breakdowns. And unfortunately, I had a computer reset, and a lot of the stuff got lost. Well, not exactly lost. Like Botanic, since I reinstalled it, all blend files no longer detect Botanic basically, and all the Botanic assets are gone. So if I go to render view, like this stuff right here was something of Botanic, so that's why it's like a missing texture. These trees were editable, and I applied animations to them, and that's why they are like actually in the scene and they did not disappear, but their material is still missing. But anyways, it should not be too much of a problem because yeah, these main structures are what we are here for. So the structures right here. So I just modeled this. Also, let me show you the reference. So, so this right here was my main reference for this. This was generated using DAL E2, the AI model, and I did not do a very good job at replicating it, but I don't think it turned out too bad because I'm not really good at modeling. I have not really done a bunch of modeling before, so this was like a very rough attempt. So here I used the mirror modifier to flip this stuff and also to flip it on this axis as well as this axis. And next, the texturing for the building. So this is also very like not very complex. For the actual body of the building, I put this just this class material, this class BSDF, just a class BSDF, and that's it. And for this stuff in the middle, that is using noise pack. It's like an asset pack, and it has a bunch of like node groups that have a lot of noise. It's like a collection of custom noise textures that you can use, and it's all procedural. So you don't have to worry about UVs or anything. It's completely procedural. That's it really. I'll leave the link for this in the description, like where to get it and stuff. It's free, by the way. And for this stuff in the corner, it's a sapling region, just extruding out. And I guess it adds something. Also, how you enable sapling region is you have to go to your add-ons and search for sapling region, and then you have to shift A and curve and sapling region, and there it's going to give you a tree. Also, it spawns at the world origin, which is kind of weird. So I'm having a hard time finding it, but anyways, it's not really that necessary. And for the spiky stuff, it's just cylinder that I modeled. Not even a cylinder, it's like a cone or something that I just extended and put a black material on it. It's nothing mind blowing. And for this stuff, it's the same thing. I just twisted and turned it a lot to get these curly shapes. And here for all the ground, that's just for all the rocks, all the trees, all the grass you see is from Botanic. And the next thing is the exact same thing, but with different camera angle. Oh yeah, there's like a later one I forgot to like I use the same blend file for these two. But anyways, it's the same thing. Also these butterflies that fly in. Okay, it's a geometry node system. You won't really see it properly here because well the texture is missing. Guess what? But it's a geometry node system that flies in. So I followed a tutorial for this and I'll leave the link in the description. But basically what it does is that you can have a curve and you can distribute a bunch of objects on it. And like actually this is a confession. I did not follow the tutorial. I just went to the description and got the blend file and used it directly. So yeah, I am kind of a cheater there. But it looks good. Okay, so yeah. Also this stuff. This is once again, it's butterflies. And if you go to geometry nodes, this is a way simpler system that I made myself. It just scatters the butterfly over an area and just scatters them randomly and stuff. You can copy it if you want. I'm pretty sure I've done this before in like scene 4 or something. It's the same thing. The next scene right here, this was this took me a lot of time to create just because of how messy it was. So this is what I was talking about when I said that Botanic was not being detected. So in this installation of Blender, I used the like old version of Botanic, and that's like not on my PC anymore, so it can't detect it. And oh no, that does not look good. But anyways, solid mode is fine. So I think one of the most important things here are these tree trunks connecting these mushroom shapes to the trunk, I guess. And how I modeled this trunk was I just took a cylinder and made it larger, made it wobble and shit, and made this thing at the top, just made the top face a bit larger, and that's what I got. Also, for a lot more detail, I use a displace node, a displace modifier, I mean. So this just gives me a lot more detail. If I go here, you can see that detail. Off, on, off, on. Yeah, it's very nice. And the speed trunk stuff. Okay, this was an absolute pain to make. So what I did was I made a tree using sapling region and basically used the conform objects add-on to basically make the tree stick to the stem there. And it did not work very well here. You can see especially how well it worked here. This was the same thing, and obviously it looks like an absolute disaster. But actually, if you view it from afar, yeah, it's not really that bad. And on this one, I just scattered a bunch of ivy, I think, using botanic, and there are butterflies all around this scene. It's everywhere. You can see the objects on curve thing passing by here, and like the one I showed again the previous scene, a bunch of them flying around here. And of course, the grass and stuff here was also really important. I put grass on the stems as well for a bit more detail and for it to not look barren and all that. And for all these textures, like the bark texture here, I got it from Quixel Megascans. I showed you. Again, we are back to the project file, the After Effects project file, and here the main thing you'll notice, the main thing I did in After Effects was add these text effects. Not really text, I added these symbols like it's in Skyrim or something. And here you see it says the sky gardens and the sky towers, and here I just use fonts. Okay, so the stuff you see here, like this medieval cross bulking thing, that's a font. This thing, these are fonts as well. So where I got these, I got all of these on dafont.com. I'll leave a link in the description. And in fact, but when I reset my PC, I lost all these fonts. So yeah, that's not very convenient. But I still have the font names here, so I just tell you those. So this one's called ornaments, labels, frames, and this next one's called mortised ornaments, free to, and this one is called Starstruck. This is like one of my favorite fonts actually. It's a super cool font. And this next one is called Honeymoon, personal use only. And this is called There Can Only Be One Beaver Limit. I have no idea what these font names mean. What the fuck just happened? Help me. Oh. And this next one's called Bodoni XT. It's a very classic font. I think everyone should know this classic font. And what I did for the CC and stuff here was there's like no post processing here almost. There's just this lens flare that I added. Let me put this peak on here. And oh yeah, here actually I added a bit of fog using a depth map. I rendered a depth map and just used this as a Luma mask to add a bit of fog there. Also, how you render a depth map is you just go to how you have to go to your render like tab, and you have to search for mist, and here you'll get passes data, and here you just enable mist, and after you do that, if you go to your material like view, if you click on this little arrow here, if you go down render path, and here you will get mist. So if you do that, you get mist. And if you want to change the distances in your world settings, you will get a mist pass, and here you can change all this stuff. And how you render this, because you cannot render this the normal way since it's in material preview. So how you render this is you have to go to view and viewport render animation. So that's going to render whatever you are seeing right now. And also a note, if you do the viewport render animation, keep your overlays off, because if you keep keep them on, they're going to show up in the render, and that's not very nice. And for this one, actually, I'll show the fonts again because, well, they're missing. So thi- this one's called Nymphet, this one called Nymphet, and this one called Mortise Ornaments Free 2. I already showed that one in the previous one. There's one called Flower. This is actually a really cool font. Like if you see right here, it's like a very gardeny font, I guess. Very garden vibes. And the next one is Honeymoon. Personal use only. I already showed that one. And the next one is Bodoni X, which once again it should be a pre-installed font. And there are optical flares as well to make the scene feel less empty. And and there's one here as well, of course.